Hi. So I just did a kind of crazy thing. I think most people might think it was crazy. I don't know. But to me, it feels right and liberating. And so I'm going to share that with you. I just decided, actually yesterday I decided this, to retire Freedom Friday. But not only did I decide to retire Freedom Friday, I decided to unlist all 366 of my videos on YouTube. So now you can no longer see, I have 2 videos that are public, they're just music videos. And you no longer can access, the public can no longer access my Freedom Friday videos. And I want to talk about that. I want to be real and authentic. And, you know, I have taught you guys, at least my existing followers, for the last 5 years. You've asked me questions. I've gotten, you know, inspiration from source. When every step along the way in my channel has been so guided and so beautiful and so miraculous. And I've developed this awesome following of almost 12,000 people. And that's great. Along the way, I became a spiritual coach and I started actually coaching people, and it just organically grew into this beautiful business and this empire. And all along, it was just meant to be an expression of me and my soul. And that's why I called it Darien Empire. It used to be called Dari Awakened because it was me sort of compartmentalizing myself. And so my goal has always been to bring all of me together, and for this, not just this channel, but my brand as a whole and all parts of what I do online to be all parts of me, whatever that is, whenever that is. And so Freedom Friday was dead. The last couple videos I did, I feel like I've said this a million times already. And I was answering questions for people. And I was just like, yeah, I feel like I've said this a million times already. I feel like this is old. And that doesn't mean I won't be teaching anymore. From now on, all of those Freedom Friday videos, which was a plan that I had from the gate when I first started my Freedom Friday videos, I thought I'll do this for a couple years and then I'll make all of those like subscription based. So all of that old material, which is still fucking amazing, fucking transformational. I mean, when I feel lost, I go back and watch my old videos, you know? And so many people that have watched my videos have just like binge fucking watched them. But I always had the plan to do that. So from now on, I'm going to make it so that the material is still accessible, but it's going to be, and I honestly don't really know exactly what it is, but it's going to be either subscription based or, you know, I'll probably lump them into like little courses. I'll put them in with some of my courses, make them available for certain things. There's just so much I mean, it was 366 videos. I guess if you minus the 2, yeah, because I made those. So it was like 364 videos that weren't all Freedom Friday, but they were all like spiritual interviews, spiritually based, just all like spiritual teachings. And that's a lot of fucking content. And you guys know my videos are like 20 minutes each, at least. So a lot of fucking content. But what I want to, I just feel like I want to be more creative here. I want to show more of the artist in me. You know, I am an artist. I started here as an artist. I started on YouTube as an artist, as a singer. I'm not just a singer though. I write songs. I'm a musician. I also am a writer and I love to write. And I'm also a dancer and I love to dance. I am just altogether an artist. And I've just in my spiritual practice, in my spiritual journey, I've just always come back to the conclusion again and again and again. And really, like, I've taught myself back to the beginning, if that makes sense. Like, I've taught myself back to the ground rules of life. And what I realize is that to really live the spiritual teachings that I've learned is to be the fullest expression of myself, the creative expression of myself. It's just to allow my soul to take over and be whatever that is. And I have to completely trust that whatever that is beautiful, and that's all that matters. To me, that's really all that matters, is being in the expression of my own soul. And so at this point, just like when I first started this channel, I didn't really care if anybody was listening. I didn't really care if anybody had anything, if anybody had questions for me or needed to hear what I was trying to say. Like, it wasn't about that for me. It was just about feeding my own soul and expressing my own soul. And I didn't have an audience of spiritual people. I had a music audience, you know? And so just like when I started this channel, and the whole basis of me, the energy and the basis of me starting this channel was just doing what made me fucking happy. And so that's what I'm gonna do from here on out. I mean, I loved doing Freedom Friday. It did make me happy. And now it's just like, no, I think it's done. It's done. And it feels good. And I just felt like kind of wiping the whole channel out. And so here we are, people. So I don't know what's going to happen with this channel, if I'm being completely honest. Right now, I'm still in this. I literally just decided to let go of Freedom Friday yesterday. I just got out of, like, Starbucks is right behind me. I don't know if you can see it, but I just left the Starbucks, having just completely made all of my videos unlisted except my 2 music videos. I don't know if this is going to be a vlog. I'm kind of thinking. But right now I'm in this phase of, like, release. And so I do want to let you know, for any of you that are artists, I am an artist first and fucking foremost. And the fact that there's anyone in this world that doesn't know that means that there's too many people in this world that don't really know me, because I am an artist first and fucking foremost. I always have been an artist. I mean, I think that my spiritual channeling, I know my spiritual channeling and all this advice I've channeled through me is part of my artistry. Abso-fucking-lutely. But for me to not show all of my artistry is a damn fucking shame. And you know, it's all been divine timing, and it's all been beautiful, and I had to go through a lot of learning, and I really was teaching what I was learning. But now I'm to a point where it's time for me to just be and just express and be okay with where I am. And I've never been somebody that's followed the rules. And if any of you are entrepreneurs or even artists, I'm really not following the rules here. I'm just following my soul. And that's really the only rule you ever should follow, is the rule of your soul. But one thing that has made me a good artist, and makes, I believe, anyone a good artist, is someone who's willing to throw out every piece of art that they've created in the past, and willing to let it all go in order to have something completely fresh and completely new come through you. So I really think that the way of the artist is to stay in a flow, right? And in order to stay in a flow, you have to be continually releasing, allowing, letting go. I mean, to be in the flow is ultimately to completely let go, right? And I learned that lesson a very long time ago when my song book or my poem book or whatever it was back then got caught in a flood. And I think I had like 3 or 4 of them that all got caught in a flood. And I had no choice but to let go of all of my art. But what I realized was it actually made me create more. It made me more in the flow. It made me more in the flow. And so every time I create something new, I let go of the last thing I created. And I always tell myself, whatever I'm going to now create is going to be even more in alignment with me. It's going to be even better than it was the last time because it's more of who I am. Now, that doesn't mean that all of the things I've already created aren't fucking magical and don't have something wonderful to give. But for me to stay in the flow as an artist, I have to constantly let go of what I created in the past. And so maybe I will share my journey of me being in the flow with you guys. That's the only word that came to me yesterday was I just want to share being in the flow. I want to share living. I want to live more. I've created so much. I'm going to cry now. I don't even know why. I've created so much of this online empire that I'm so fucking proud of, but I'm also so ready to fucking let it go with a quickness if it means replacing an online empire for an internal empire any fucking day of the week. You know what I mean? I want to live in the world. I want to express. I want to dance. I want to be. I want to have Source fucking breathing through me more than just once a week on a fucking video. Like, not that that's the only time that Source breathes through me, but I just want to continue to be the artist in the flow, expressing, because that's who I am most happiest in my life and in my existence. And I know that being that is the inspiration I came here to be. I've always wanted to inspire people, and some part of my brain thought that I had to be more, prove my worth, teach, give, which is what I've been doing for 5 fucking years. I've been giving free fucking content, hours and hours of free fucking content. I've just been pouring my whole heart and soul out into the world. Not my whole heart and soul, because I haven't been sharing enough of my music, but I thought I had to do something. I thought I had to uplift people, but the truth is I just have to be. And that upliftment happens. And I just have to trust that. And so my biggest spiritual up-leveling, if you could call it that right now, or awakening right now, is I'm awakening to the fact that I am just perfect as I am, and just me releasing any need to be anything and just being me is the greatest spiritual practice I could have. Everything good that's ever come to me, my heightened intuition, this channel, the people that I get to spend my life with, it's all happened when I just let go and not try to be anything or fit into any box, and just did what I wanted to do, and came from this place of like, I know everything's okay. And so it's kind of like, I don't even know what this channel is going to be, but I kind of feel like it's a little scary because it's really going to be like real raw Darian, even though that's who I am, is real raw Darian, and I've always been real raw Darian. It's almost as if now it's time to peel back another layer and to be even more real. I think the scariest thing for me here, like, why the fuck am I so scared right now? I don't even know. But I think the scariest but exhilarating and awesome, and I'm so ready for it thing right now, is to not have to, but get to every day practice being in the vibration and being in the knowledge, the knowing of, I don't have to do anything. There's nothing I have to do here. That I just get to be. And that challenges everything most of us, me, the old me, knows as a society of how you're supposed to be successful, to be a human being, to be any of that. But like, I have learned enough in my life to absolutely know with absolute conviction that there is no greater reward, no greater success than being one with my soul. And that's not some like crazy esoteric idea. It's not this idea of being one with my soul, which I think this new age, kind of like that old school new agey fucking world that's shattering as we are all watching it fucking shatter. That old new age shit, right? Like, there's this idea in that old new age conformity. It's like dogmatic. It's fucking crazy. But that says to mate with my soul is to be, oh, here's my soul. And it's like, no, that's not what the fuck it is. To mate with my soul is to let go and just accept every fucking particle of me as it is. The dorkiness, the quirkiness, the not quite perfect enough, the not quite the girls in the magazines, not quite the perfect online empire, not quite the what is it, Stepfordpreneur that Katrina Ruth says, not quite, don't mind the motorcycle driving by, not quite anything, but just sort of a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of, like, to me, I just feel like I'm this freckle-faced, curly-haired, freckled knees, innocent, dorky, quirky, but also amazing, confident, badass, fucking warrior, sweet-souled, little girl, powerful woman. Like, I'm all of that. Artist. I kind of feel like singing, I'm a bitch, I'm a lover, I'm a child, I'm a mother, I'm a sinner, I'm a saint, I do not something, something. If I knew the words, I'd sing the whole thing. Okay. I don't know. Life is crazy and grand and beautiful and crazy, and I think I've been talking for 20 fucking minutes because that's just how Darian rolls. And I just think that at any given moment, and this is kind of my thing, like, I do this all the time. I've done it my whole life. I've built this whole thing, and then I've go, bloop, bye. And I think it's magical to just be able to release this thing, because when you build something on bricks of God, I can't tell you how many fucking times I've said this, and I don't know if people just don't get it, or if they're not feeling it, if they're not in alignment enough to hear it, I don't know. But when you build something on bricks of God, you can never lose it. So everything I've built, it seems like I'm just letting it all go, but I've built myself. I've built a deeper connection with my soul. I've expanded authentically. And now, in order to expand more, I need to grow out of what I've just created. It's like I'm coming out of my shell. I'm shedding my skin. I got to find a new home, a new energetic home. And this is what life is all about. And if you, like, I can't hold on to that old shit. I'll never be new. I'll never be new. I'll never get to be something new. I'll never get to find some new part of me. So, I don't know. I don't know what this is going to be, but right now it's just a shedding of skin. And I guess I wanted to just talk to you about being an artist and tapping into that. Yeah. I'm not going to answer questions anymore publicly. Of course, I still have my membership, which is fucking amazing. I still have all my coaching courses. I'm still doing one-on-one coaching, but as far as the public thing goes, I feel like, honestly, a little tough love for you guys. I feel like if you've been following me for any part of the 5 years that my material has been up and you haven't transformed your lives with what I've put out, then there's nothing I have left to give you. I've taught you basically everything I know. Not everything. I've saved a lot of the really good juicy stuff from my courses, but I've taught everything that needs to be known in public. And if you didn't grasp it or learn from it in the last 5 years, then you probably weren't ready to hear it. You weren't in a position to learn from it, and maybe my message just isn't for you. I'm not really sure, but I'm totally okay to let that go. You know? Yeah. It feels really good. It feels so good to me. Oh my God, it feels so fucking good. I'm so fucking excited. And we'll see what this turns into. 2227 is the time we're on right now, so I guess I'll leave it at that. All right. I don't really know what else to say. I think we're just going to have to see what this turns into. If you feel in alignment with it, stick around. If you don't, then don't. I totally trust my soul, and this is just going to be me from here on out. All right. Bye, guys.